pretty I don't know, like I keep I don't know, it's like one of those things when you set up a live stream, and YouTube doesn't, I don't know, like I hit the wrong tab saying I was using my streaming software, not my phone, so that's always fun. But anyway, let's get into this. This is the third installment of the sketchbook. Let me see if I can prop this up a little bit here. Ugh. And we'll be going for an hour here. I know we lost like 2 minutes there, but it should be okay. Ugh. That's a sucky thing about this is I can't work on this without like I don't know, some kind of I need like a flat surface in order to do this. My dog Axel's like, "Why are you talking so much? You were silent for like an hour." Try this. Can we? Ah, here we go. Okay, that's working. I'm digging that. It works. Okay, we can make that. That'll do her. And the phone will stop hating me. Oh God. Don't worry about that. It should work. See, it works okay for this, but I'm gonna be struggling here a bit because the glare on this is real. See, you would be seeing nothing really, but I see everything. But we'll see if on this one. I I was gone last week. I had a wedding to go to, and that was a pretty fun wedding. But I definitely would not be able to do a Saturday live stream, Sunday live stream probably. But I wanted to chill out because I had a pretty long drive after that. Let's see if I can do this, and we can zoom in a little bit here. That should work better. But let's see if tracked some people getting in late, and if anybody wants to watch this, it would be pretty nice. But yeah, been doing a lot of horror sketches in my new sketchbook lately. If anybody wants to see the past entries, this one isn't horror per se. Let me zoom out here. Oh. So here's this space lady who did went a while. This definitely did not get done. Oh, thanks, Devin. Definitely took longer than like one session. This took like I'd say like maybe 5 hours consistently. Try to get a good one without glare there. And then that's the first one. Number two. You ready? This is gonna get scary. Ooh, gnarly zombie. I do not do tattoos, Stacy. Thank you for asking. People tell me I should do them all the time. I'm just like, I hate that there's like, and this is one we're working on today. I how do the prospect of doing them excites me. You know, I like tattooing would be a great medium to pick up, but I kind of hate that there's a hierarchy. You know, and yeah, sure, there's like health. You know, you got to be licensed. I don't know. I honestly could not tell you. I would like to be licensed. I don't know. It's intriguing, but that's like a whole other sort of artistic subculture to get into. And I'm just like, yeah, if there's a way to just pick up, learn it, and just do it, um, that would be neat. But I understand it's not as simple as that. You gotta kinda, like pay your dues to become. Hey, Dartine, thank you. I don't, what does underrated smell like? Does it smell like chicken or something? But yeah, people have told me always if I would love to do tattooing. I'm like, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to get into. I feel I'm a tattoo artist. You're in as being a tattoo artist. You're in it, and that's not necessarily you're stuck in that. I mean, like there's tattoo artists who paint and do other things. I'm great for them. Like I've known quite a few, but I just don't know. I would hate to be stuck in just one thing. See, I love doing the comic book covers. I love doing like movie posters and illustrations, and I just fear like if I get into tattooing, that's it. That's just all. That's just all there is. And I don't know what comes with tattooing. Does anybody know? This is what underrated smells like. Dark bean things. Um, yeah. Does it? Do you have to be stuck in that? Like, I don't know. I kind of have my own feelings about tattooing. Thanks, Lord. My chat. Is that how you spell it? Say it. Yeah, in sort of spooky season, I just decided to do something smile. You know what I caught today was Smile 2. Has anybody watched that? Darby do paper art? That's cool. Is it paper like this? Or is it like cutout paper? Is it like paper mache? I have been sculpting lately, but dude, if you get a chance, go see Smile 2. Um, this isn't promotion. I'm not sponsored in any way. Yeah, origami. Okay, I could get that. Dart bean. Um, but no, Smile 2, that wrecked me a little. That was so intense. And I love horror movies and I'm not like easily scared. I'm pretty desaturated as far as like or not desaturated, desensitized is the word. Because I love horror. I love like everything as a genre, and it takes a lot to scare me. But everything just was so well made about Smile 2 and that whole movie, and the plot, everything was just hitting, and it easily could have been, you know. Most horror movies, they let you know you're not supposed to take it seriously by inserting pages like, ham or campiness, and that's to be expected. I feel like, unless you're like elevated horror, uh, which I don't know. It's safe to say I'm not a fan of elevated horror. It's just like, it just feels like horror for horror's sake. It's it's just like it needs like a caption underneath it, kind of like it's if anyone's ever seen an episode of Freakazoid, it's like in Streamo Vision or Disturbed. They just know they need a caption like "Be disturbed," and then just be like, cut to a weird scene. Oh, you do dragon puppets. That's kind of cool. At work, we make dragon animatronics. I'll clue you into what I do for work, and that is not tattooing. But yeah, so yeah, yes, the plot of Smile, man, that was just beyond of elevated horror, and I was worried it might dip into that, but it so doesn't. It's pretty cool, and it's like it's jump scares. It's jump scares galore, but they're done well. They don't see like I don't know if you're like watching The Nun or something like that. There are so many jump scares, and they piss you off because they come out of nowhere. It's there. It's not earned. There's not enough. There's not enough build up for a proper jump scare. But Smile 2, whew, man. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but unless like people want a review of it right now, which I'm kind of giving one, but it wasn't. The premise of I guess the mechanic of Smile is like, okay, you know what's creepy? People just giving you that evil grin at you, and that by itself is creepy, right? It's creepy when it's applied to clowns, but if there's just people just being weird and just giving that like freaky, that's a whole level on its own. But if you're the only one that's seeing it, and then there's some kind of like demon deity or something like that, uh, and I didn't expect. I mean, Dart Bean, who doesn't hate clowns? I don't hate clowns. Like I appreciate clowns um, as an art form, as an art form. Whew. I mean, yeah, as a performance, yeah, as a kinda like a magician, you know? We had clowns in school, I'm seeing school, but, you know, clowns weren't really, scary until, I don't know, people started making what was it, Gacy, John Wayne Gacy, you know, the clown, so killing people as a clown. Yeah, good times, but yeah, I mean and then people say, "Hey, man, clowns were scary before that crap," but, um, I never found clowns very scary. Like, creepy, yes, but, you know, and people have that phobia too. It's like if people see, like, a red nose or the honking horns and stuff like that, they get freaked out. But, no, I never read much into it. If anybody's curious what I'm doing here, I'm actually laying in some values, and eventually, once I get all my values laid in, there'll be, like, a little bit of a push-pull, trying to, like, get all, like, the lights and darks, so it's gonna look but I'm really just laying it in. My pud call while I do this. I could start blending this over here. But yeah, I'm using just my blend tool. Um, and I've laid down some pencil marks here. Originally, I had this sketched out on a separate piece, which I don't have in front of me. I have to get up, but and then I scanned it, resized it, and transferred it into my sketchbook as you see it. So that's the excuse for all the lines. Tracing, I'm tracing my own work. Don't worry. Well, I don't know. I have never been accused of like it's cheating if you use a projector or you're not like freehanding it or something. But I don't know. You could freehand it all day. It just takes long, and I don't know. People don't want to see an ugly drawing, do they? Let me know if you want to see. Yeah, let me know if you want to see a live stream of me just freehanding it. It will. I guarantee you, it won't look like any. I mean, I don't know. It won't look like anything. Um, I don't know, but it could always be screwed up. I'm sure I can make it look good, but I mean, I don't want that in my sketchbook for all eternity when people look back at these and be like, dude, he sucked. I promise you. Oh, that's cool. Draw your puppets digitally then printed? Okay. Is it like 3D printed? I've looked into 3D printing. I would love to do 3D sculpting. I did download ZBrush for a time. One, my computer can't handle that because it overheats and it's old. I need to replace it. And ZBrush is really difficult to navigate. When I do eventually upgrade my hardware here, I'm going to probably dip into Blender. I hear Blender is pretty easy to learn. And if I ever get into 3D printing, I see what worries me about that when I looked into it was those lines you get, like those print lines, and yeah, there's like some sanding and smoothing that has to go into it, but um, I don't know, something about sculpting it by hand. I do that for work, um, and doing all the messing around with clay. Um, I find that fascinating. You have a 3D printed puppet. Okay, is it like a ventriloquist puppet? Be cool. Talked about doing puppets at work. I would love to do something like that. But I don't know. We try to come up with stuff that's hasn't been done, I guess. But I'm all about a new freaky puppet. But yeah, the whole theme of doing this drawing. Oh, thanks, cat lover. The whole thing with doing a drawing like this. Watching the movie today, I went to the theater. It rocked my world. It was so scary. And there were only like 3 people in my auditorium. It was just me, dark room, and couldn't hear anybody. You know, the people behind me were like all the way against the wall in the back, so I couldn't feel or sense them. And so there was like none of that like movie going. movie going experience where you could like hear everybody shriek and cry and all that stuff. It was so it was just me. I can only hear myself. I can only see everything, experience everything, just me in the room. And as fun as it is to see with people, I could not get anybody to go see it. Um, but it was really fun. Um, but but yeah, watching Smile, that was pretty dope. Like it took me a little bit to calm down. I had to like just remember to breathe at some points. It was pretty fun. And there were moments, like I said this earlier, but there were moments when it could have gone, it could have turned silly. It could have just straight up been a comedy at some points, but like there are moments of levity, but they're more of like character building moments, and it's pretty dark. Like if you, I guess, like I don't know, uh, horror movies didn't really ask you check if you've been through trauma or something like that. But if you've ever been through some trauma, I do not recommend it. It's because this movie's dark. It is really dark. Going through not only like physical trauma, but just like a, a lot of emotional drama, and wasn't expecting. And there's like a lot of world building in it too. Um, not just like for the mechanism is like in the rules for it and all that stuff, but it's hard to sell like what the thing is, like what curse it is or what monster it is. Yeah, it's kind of like It Follows. Like, what was it even called? It's just it, and you gotta like gotta narrow down the rules. Like, if the thing could like cross oceans and stuff like that. And but anyway, yeah, this one I did a creepy like zombie a while back, um, and because I think it was like last month, and that was pretty fun. So I wanted to do not only a character that's smiling, but also, um, something happy. So that's the excuse for the sharp teeth. And whenever I'm drawing characters, especially spooky characters, I don't like drawing pupils. I like this of an eye. I think it's more vague that way. It's like, are they undead? Are they the eyes just rolled back? If they're rolled back, but yeah, watching Smile too, I definitely got an exclusive poster. That's always fun. And they had a poster for Joker too, which I haven't seen. As a matter of fact, not a whole lot of people have seen it, from my understanding. And I don't know. I wasn't on board for like the whole messaging of the first Joker, but I think that might have been my misunderstanding. Because people tell me like, "Oh, you haven't really, that you need to see it in order to understand it." I'm like, fair enough, but I do feel like people walk away with the wrong message, and I think from what I hear, the second one uh, is the moral of the story, more or less. It doesn't. The second one won't leave you, wanting to go flip over cop cars or anything. Message to sit out on, but that's the thing too. If you love the first Joker, you're not gonna love the second Joker. Speaking of Joker, I went to a collectibles show today. I picked up a blank cover of was it the 80th anniversary of Joker. This is a sketch blank variant, and I'm excited to do that. I um I have another Joker cover that I'll do eventually, as well as like a few Harley Quinns, and of course I got a buttload of Batman. But um, all in good time. I'm while I'm doing other things. far as sketch covers go, go to my Instagram. It's posterboy89. Um, did a Predator versus Black Panther variant. I posted that this week, and that came out great. I mean, it's all in thermal vision. If you know anything about the series or follow the series, it's pretty great. I'm not saying I myself am very great, but the whole device of the thermal vision is pretty fun. And so I just had both characters in the fight scene, and like in the middle of combat, engaging with each other, and then they're all depicted in thermal vision, which I think is so dope. And there's not a whole lot of artwork. Not even AI can do the thermal vision, and that was like my own challenge. Um, and I felt like I pulled it off pretty well. And that's using nothing but no paint. I mean, a little bit of paint. I pulled out the gouache to give like that watercolor effect that I like. It's kind of like in the style of David Mack, if you're familiar. But I was pretty proud of it. I think the next show I do, I'll sell some prints of that. And I might sell some prints of this. This is turning out okay. Let me move this up so people can look and comment. I need to get a proper stand for this. Right now I'm using my pencil case to prop up this book so people can see it and not see the glare of all the pencil marks. I think the next blank I do, man, I tell you, October um, really makes me motivated to crank out more horror themed art. So, in comic books, I collected. It seems like they've only made three of them, but there's a Dracula series, there's a Frankenstein series, and there's a Creature from the Black Lagoon series. And they made cover, and I have all three blanks. So I'm going to do a Frankenstein, do a Dracula, and I'm going to do a creature. Now, I already have my plans for a creature all laid out, but I think um, for the Frankenstein, I'm going to do a Bride of Frankenstein, kind of like in the style of, kind of in the style of just Frankenstein. I don't know. I don't know with yeah, like it might be over sexualized or something. I don't know. I just did a over sexualized Emma Frost a few weeks back on an X-Men cover. You can check that out on my Instagram. And we did that live stream here too. That was pretty fun. I'm gonna do it again with the other X-Men covers I collected, but that's just all with paint markers. This is graphite. Graphite's fun. Graphite, I spent years just purely drawing, and then I found out, hey, other mediums are fun, and people kept telling me that, but I don't trust it. But all a good time. And then what else? Um, so I talked about Creature. Yeah, I have a pretty dope design for Creature, the Black Lagoon, and then there's Frankenstein, which I'm gonna do with really want to do a Bride of Frankenstein. So, and then Dracula, I think I want to do the Nicolas Cage Dracula from Renfield, but like in the style of Bela Lugosi. So I'm gonna do some research on that and see if there's any fun sort of styles I could play with. Because I want to make each one very painterly, so you could like see brushstrokes and stuff like that. But and I usually do. Like if you take a look at all my work, you'll see a theme. I'm very traditional, but yeah, going into details of these lips, and of course I'm gonna go in and smooth some of this out. But yeah, just a creepy ass smile, and just the eyebrows of like where Does she even know where she's at? Yeah, I do like a creepy smile. Makes me think of, 3 when Reynolds like, "Oh, there's a pretty smile. There's a pretty smile." It's like when a dog opens its jowls and it's got, like, 5 different jaws. Okay, staying clear of that. There was a moment in Smile 2 when, I know for certain I would have survived Smile 2 had I been the main character, because there's a moment when a character should have just walked away and they didn't, if they walked away, the movie wouldn't happen. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to see all this shit break down, but, uh, any rational person, like, no matter what the situation, they just would have left. They just would have got the hell out of there, but it makes sense. It's not like faux pas, but, the movie's gotta happen somehow, and it does bring you into that world. But I tell you what, the soundtrack to Smile 2, it kicks fucking ass. And what I love about it too, it's gonna get like I mean, I hope it does. It's gonna get a cult following because sorry, you're gonna look at my hand covering this again, but I need to go in and do these eyebrows. Because not only did they build this world around like this pop star, but they made like T-shirts and they, on check on Spotify, dude. Like they made the character have their own like album, and I haven't checked to see how many songs there are, but um, like the music and everything, and the choreography, like I would like to know what the budget of that was. I guarantee you, it wasn't cheap to make. I think the first Smile cost something like 5 million, 10 million, and that's not a lot of money spent on a movie. And this looks like it cost money. Probably cost like I don't know. I don't know what movies cost. Like it looked expensive because they had to like do choreography, make songs and stages, and like I don't know how you do that on a low budget, but it all looks great. Like there wasn't a single thing that looked cheap or out of place. I'm like, damn. And yeah, the first Smile made a lot of money, and it was a hit. I mean, a lot of people wanted to see that movie, and it was good. And it had had Kevin Bacon's daughter as the main character. And you know what's funny is in this movie it was a slam dunk of me seeing it because it had Jack Nicholson's son as a character in it, and they like kind of spoiled his capacity or his role in it. And he's like one of the smiling characters, and like he does a very Jack Nicholson smile in it, and it's it's pretty dope. And you're just like you see him smile and you see him talk and just him act, and I'm like, yeah, that's Jack. That is that is all Jack right there. So he could definitely do a prequel movie or something with involving Jack Nicholson. Kind of like Kurt Russell's son. If him and Kurt Russell's son did a movie together, playing both their fathers' characters in something, and they could like probably do the deep fake technology. That it's like, oh, how dare you? You can't do that. But I'm like, I don't care. As long as what I'm seeing is good, I do not give a damn. Outline, separate that a little bit. It's looking okay. It looks okay. I can trust me. I'm gonna go back and smooth some of this out. Actually, I'm gonna do that too. Where is my eraser tool? Here it is. I'm gonna take away a little bit of this. Uh, A little bit. Yeah, I'd like the eyes to be ambiguous in this. I don't want so much line in this. Yeah, add some detail to the nose. Yeah. Ugh. I read somewhere. I'm gonna get a drink. I've been talking for a half hour. I saw an article yesterday about the Wicked musical, or not the musical, but the live action movie that's coming up with Ariana Grande. Um, the main actress that plays the Green Witch, the Wicked Witch. Um, I don't know. She's starting to make like make some waves here with so like someone made a fan poster, which I love fan posters. I do fan posters. I illustrate them, and they're just like legit if you can like do them. But this one went viral because they did. If you're familiar any at all with Wicked, which I am a little, mostly because I had family that was very invested with it. At least the novel version. They don't know much about the musical, but I'm only familiar with it because they read it and they like the book. Um, and I know the cover of the book, which is like the good witch whispering into the ear of the green witch. Okay, that's all I know. That is officially all I know about Wicked. So someone took it upon themselves to a version of that poster, um, of the good witch whispering in the green witch's ear, but they show everybody's face. They show Ariana Grande's face slightly, under the mouth and everything like that. And they just do a full, but they do like full photograph of the green witch looking down the barrel of the camera, and it looks close, but it's like, it's not quite there. And so what a fan did was just pull the hat down and had the eyes of the Green Witch, under it, basically almost shot for shot remaking that original illustration almost. And it's fine. Like that looks identical to the original poster. And somebody, well, and it was well received. I think people like really enjoyed it. Like, oh, isn't that cool? Yeah, it's great. Otherwise, I don't think people would have like cared or whatever. It's kind of like a Sonic thing. Like when Sonic was first previewed, people hated the design of them, and they raised enough of a fuss for them to just be like, "Hey, redesign Sonic for those things." It's like, I mean, but it doesn't look like the original poster we all know and love. So someone said like, "Here, I fixed it for you." So, and it was, I feel like it really wasn't with that sort of animosity. Like someone was like, "Oh, how dare they? Here's how the poster should look," or something like that. I don't think there was any sort of animosity like that. That comes out, and then the main actress, the one who plays the Green Witch, she comes out and says, "Hey, how dare you? You covered my face. You completely jammed up my identity, man." I don't have like what she tweeted in front of me, but the fact that she engaged with it and engaged with it like so hard, she's like, no doubt this woman's like been getting comments, just harsh stuff, but she literally says this rendition of that poster is like the worst thing she's ever encountered on social media, and she takes it. She's like so personally offended by it. I'm like, really? Good God, you better hope this movie's good. That's all I can say. You're in for a world of hurt. Really, someone just having fun and with that poster. That's the worst thing, really. Come on, dude. You gotta have thicker skin than that. So, Wicked is not off to a good start, I would say. And like I'm on the fence as it is, like as far as seeing it. I mean, I my mom really wants to see it, so I'm likely gonna take her to go see that with my girlfriend. But that's a tough one. Like I likely not see it by myself because I never saw Oz the Great and Powerful, even though it was directed by Sam Raimi when it first came out. I think I wound up like borrowing it from the library and seeing it that way the first time. Um, the first and only time I've seen that movie because I don't remember it being that good. Uh, yeah, I'm not a big Wizard of Oz fan. Why? I don't know. The originals, it's family friendly, it's corny, which is good. You get through the Munchkins. Damn, they make me giggle. But yeah, I don't know. It's wholesome. It's the dark side, but like it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland in that sort of sense. Like it can be dark. It can be a lot of things. Um, but no one's really, I don't know, it doesn't capture my imagination in that sense, just because it's more traditional. It's become so renowned that it's more common, if that makes any sense. It's like when something becomes so renowned, it becomes so common, even though it's fantasy. It's like, yeah, of course. It's kind of like Santa Claus. God, we are getting so many Christmas movies, like action Christmas or action Christmas genre. Give me more Die Hard. Give me more Christmas action like that. But don't make it so predictable, I guess. There's a Christmas action movie called Red One coming out. That looks pretty bad. It's got like The Rock in it. I think Rock needs to take a break. Just make better choices. So the next food plays out, you know. Working on some fingers here. Eventually, I think I'm gonna pull out watercolor, the watercolor graphite. Yeah, and do this hair. I think I'm gonna fill in the hair that way. But um, and the hair's gonna be mostly black. I mean, it's a good way to. And as you can see, I've got like pretty planned out here. But yeah, that's kind of the fun of this is just to like fill it in, chill out, and just make some choices. Like I don't know where it's gonna go, but I have an idea. But okay, it's good. It's doing the effect. And for this being a sketchbook, then I'm gonna show around and tell people what I'm all about when I'm at trade shows. It's pretty good. I'm happy with this. Like people to know that I can do variety, one type of genre or style. I'm glad I don't get locked into a style. I don't think anybody could point at me like, "Oh, he does this." Like, this and only this. Like, no, I can do different mediums, different styles. I think, Drew Struzan found a lot of work doing that. People were asking him, he's like, "Can you do, like, the JC Linedecker sort of stuff?" Like, I'll tell you one thing if while we're on the subject of inspiration. Has anyone caught that Victoria's Secret fashion show? uh, usually it's like how to put this? I like watching fashion shows. Not gonna lie, I like watching Project Runway. Used to watch it with my mom while I lived at home, but uh, we would get a lot of fun just out of like the challenge aspect. You know, you got like an assignment and you go make something out of like nothing. You have a budget and you just go. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much like being an artist. You have a budget to do it. You have a certain amount of time to do it. You propose your concept. You get it approved. You keep moving forward, and that is basically the whole creative process in a nutshell. And it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch people struggle because the struggle be real. But and you know, and you see the outcome about fashion or not. You can judge whether it's good or bad. And I know the latest Victoria's Secret fashion show went away for a while, but it came back, and I barely knew about it too. I was like, "Oh, they're having them again." They went away for a long, long time. But the performances were really good. I really enjoyed, um, all the music. It was like a well choreographed show. The fashion was like meh. Cher was like meh. Um, because I'm fairly certain all the performers. Like when we talk about live performance, let's get real. But that doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters much. But yeah, that woman is in her 80s or something. Not sure where I was going with that tangent. Oh yeah, but I like I don't know, I see like a lot of fashion art on Instagram. Sometimes it pops up in my feed, and that's pretty fun. Um, and I would love to like I love details. You know, like there's details in this, but there's also details in things like dresses. You know, a lot of if there's like a fabric that's reflective, I like capturing that sort of stuff. Um, because there's a lot of ways to express details like that, especially in patterns and stuff like that. So I I just enjoy it. Like it's fun to draw, and it's a challenge to draw, but it's also one of those things that just get you like, okay, it's problem solving. How do I depict that in a 2D image and bring out all of its values and stuff like that? So I appreciate fashion. Sorry, I have to look at my pudge paw here for a second. I got come over here. I'll try to extend this pencil here. And yeah, I'm doing this with a mechanical pencil because it is fine. I don't have to sharpen it, and it gets in a lot of detail. I saw someone in middle school use a mechanical pencil just to write, but he would write so tiny and very like it looked like a typewriter. It looked like ink the way he was doing it. But that like caught my attention, and I'm like, okay, let me try drawing in just with mechanical pencil and seeing what comes out. And that was before I discovered the blend stick, but even so, I was getting good results. Even through college, I used a mechanical pencil. I think instructors are like, "Why are you doing that? Use normal graphite. Use normal graphite." I mean, no one said like no one rich. They probably should have because then I'd learn how to use them. But I don't know. I got along fine without him, but you get the same results. It's just like I don't know. It comes out more glare. You know, you got a lot more. But I mean, the territory with drawing in general. Kinda like the fixative too, which I don't usually in my sketchbook, but it's pretty fun. But yeah, I like doing this. Doing it with this is a point 0.7. I do have a point 0.5, which is a smaller tip, and if I really need to get in there for like some details, but I made this big enough so I shouldn't have to. There's not a whole lot of tiny details except for like the teeth, but I'm not really getting in there, in and out of there often, except for now. But it's looking pretty good. I'm going to move over here, get this other finger. Sorry, this piece of paper here is so I can lay my hand down and not smudge. It's hard when you're a lefty. Might be hard when you're a righty too. Ooh, we're at 46. I'm only doing this live stream for an hour tonight, but anybody have questions, I'm be glad to answer. Only got about 15 minutes left of this. And this is fun. We got a lot of this done. I'm really liking how this looks. Put some rings on her fingers. Hopefully get those little details. Yeah, I just hope to fill these in. I appreciate all the comments so far. This manga called Blue Period, and it's about the artistic journey. It's about the lifestyle. Um, it's kind of like encaptures my journey when I was in high school, about ready to go into art college, and um, that whole angst. And that's like kind of what the first few volumes were about. And then now he's in art college, and the main character of the story, and now he's going up against this world of like nothing. Excuse me, nothing makes sense anymore. So it was like a whole couple volumes of dealing with that, and I was starting to like lose interest in the whole series. But then it started to come back around. Well, what makes good art? Does it make talent or painting well when there's no message or anything behind it? I'm hearing some cars in my background. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna pull my hand back so people can see the full image. Looks pretty neat. I think we're doing a good job there. I'll try this. But yeah, I guess the message there, the character is asking himself like, well, is there a point in being a good painter, being good at anything at art, if there's no message to convey? And it's an interesting thought. I've wondered about that myself, especially ever since reading it. But like the character, he's discovering like, well, no, he's a great painter. He's an excellent painter. And there's a lot to be said about just doing a painting in that time period, as well as the subject matter. It's like in that world, at that time, being a good painter is all you had, and your patron wanted good paintings. And that's how you got hired, so you had to be good. That was your livelihood. But nowadays, so many artists, their own and don't necessarily need patrons. They don't need to make a living. They just do it because it's a hobby or they do in their free time. And, you know, me, I'm like, yes, I am doing this in my free time. Yes. Um, it might not lead anywhere, but people might see it and say, hey, can you do something like that for me? That might make, might eventually do some lucrative transactions. I don't know. I might eventually make a print of this. I might eventually sell it at shows. It's like, it's all heading towards something. I think that's important. It's like, of course, you could just make something for the sake of making something. It could be art for art's sake, but I'd rather there's a purpose to it. It's all leading somewhere. Yep, it's looking nice. Uh-oh, maybe. The nose starting to look a little Michael Jackson here. I have to pull that out a bit. I don't know if anyone will understand that reference in the years to come. That's okay. We were there. We know the real story. Who's everybody voting for? Please don't answer. Please do not. I only got like 9 minutes here. Ugh. But yeah, I'm glad. I'll post this in my stories on Instagram. If you're not on my Instagram, feel free to go to the Poster Boy 89, or it might just be Poster Boy 89, but you can find me there. You can find me with that. Details should be in the description of my YouTube channel. And yeah, I'll post this. I'll post this when it's done, but I'll post tonight's results in my story. Her bottom row teeth looks a little jacked. I might pull that back a little bit. And by pulling that back, I mean like blending over it and going in with some white. I'll do something with it. I'm not gonna leave it looks because it looks weird. But yeah, going in here, smooth out some stuff. Fingers are looking really wonky at times. Sorry, my hand keeps getting in the way. I am left-handed, and I apologize for that. My dad tried to like, he tried so hard to ask me like, "Hey, could you not be left-handed?" You ever thought about not? Like, yeah, all the time. It's like, well, it's like I just, it's hard. It's like, things like scissors. I had to learn how to do with my right hand. Because I had to. There was no other way I could use scissors. Believe it or not, like I attempted to use scissors so many times with my left hand, and I can't do it. It's impossible. They only make scissors for right-handed people, so I had to adapt. I had to learn how to use scissors with my right hand. And I know they make left-handed scissors, and I'm sure left-handed scissors would feel so weird to me now. Then I had to learn how to bowl. Well, I think yeah, I did bowl right-handed, I think. I feel like that just came natural. But yeah, my dad would like use examples like that to be like, "Hey, so why can't you just left, right?" Like just because I don't know. I guess because I'm weird. Mm, this is looking good. But I am doing it. And when I get the hair all flat and black, that'll be good. And I might have the face cracked out a bit. I don't know. Taking it as it comes. Yeah, this is like a freaky vampire character or someone relishing that they're a vampire character. It's pretty fun. Yeah, and I think smiles are just creepy, and I'm still coming off the high of going to see Smile too. That was pretty fun. Man, hands are tough, but it's not so tough. Yeah, I'll be adding some cool splatter effects here, or some paint drips. Thanks for joining me this evening. No, it's not over yet. I still got 5 minutes, but if anybody has any questions, before I wrap up here, a eraser tool here, a little eraser. Bring out the lights of these teeth. Put some lights in these nails and fingers. Yeah, this will be fun. Glad I went back and adjusted this a little bit. So it not only like is nice and centered in my sketchbook, but it has a good size too. It was like this page is like a 5 by 8, so it's not terribly big, but it's a pretty decent sizing for like, if this is like on a 9 by 12 paper or something like that. Oh, yeah, I think people would be pleased to see this amongst all the other drawings. But yeah, this is the third drawing in this. If anybody wants to see the first drawing. Whoa, there it is. Let me zoom out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Space Girl. Sorry, the camera's wobbling. I got it on wrong. But yeah, it's a little sci-fi, very reflective. That did not take an hour. That took like 6 hours. And then another spooky one. Boop. Pretty creepy, right? It's like a giant zombie golem or something. Then you flip to number 3. Oh god, it's scary. It's not really. It's just more disturbing. But I'll take disturbed. Fun space. Oh dear God, that is scary. I do get a kick out of if I'm like on Tumblr or something, and I see like some spooky found footage sort of stuff. That'd be pretty dope. All right, we're in the final two. Anybody have any questions or comments? I'm happy to address them at this time. But thank you for joining me this evening. It's got so much done in this. It's like we literally did a whole face in like an hour. Holy crap! Always shocked at how much we get accomplished here. And I think just doing this for an hour straight motivates me. Like I don't know, I get so I could get caught up. I could distract myself into like doing other things, like snacking or something like that. Watching movies. I do play movies in the background. Music sometimes, but I get enough music during work. But doing this for an hour straight. But we have consistent viewers this time around. I wonder if it's because it's Halloween themes. Everybody excited for Halloween? I know I am. Love Halloween. I can't wait to pass out candy in my neighborhood. I made some stellar pumpkins this year. That is all good. Last 30 seconds. Almost there. All right. Get some details in this ring here. Needs to be black, black. Black values in here. Boop. All right. So thank you all for joining me tonight. This is post this in my Instagram, which you can find me at posterboy89. And yeah, subscribe, and you'll start seeing a lot of my comic book sketch covers. And you'll be able to see the final version of this posted probably this week. But thanks again. Have a good night.